hit it? Or just bear with us a bit. All right, I think we are live. All right, just bear with me 1 second. How many viewers have we got? Any viewers on there, Blake? Yep, on the top left corner, it tells you if there's viewers watching. Okay, all right. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take a walk up towards the club room. So we're here at the LMDSS, the Liam Mao Dark Sky site, for the 30th Starbecue. So thankfully we've got our technical issues worked out. We're going to use this microphone now, and we have changed the batteries in the camera as well because that was required. Mrs. Green, apparently you're going to be the first to comment, so I expect that comment to happen. So we have behind us, obviously, the Roloff Observatory with the 40-inch. We have our solar scope there as well at the moment. Nobody's having a look at the sun because everybody's up at the Lions Club by the looks of it. So we'll make our way up. Oh, we can get some of the crew. So we've got Linda, who is of our social media team, Steve, who is our AFTP coordinator, I guess. He hasn't really officially nominated yet. And Paul, our Deep Sky Section director, who's drinking lemonade. Mountain Dew, we'll call it. Yeah, Mountain Dew. A couple of the team at ASV. So as we make our way up, we have our Bendigo Section sitting down, and they are actually drinking lemonade, unlike the other guys pretending to drink lemonade. That's Portello, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. Thank you. So what have we got? Oh, free parts to... Anybody looking for a free telescope? It's an old one. So what have we got here?
That's all we've got now. The saleable stuff got sold.
But what is it?
It's a 4-inch. The mirror. Have a look at the mirror.
It's a 4-inch. The mirror's pretty good, actually. So if somebody wants to drive up north of Heathcote and pick up a free telescope, it's here. So let's talk to the Bendigo Astronomical Society section. So they're a section of the ASC. So we have, what do we got? 16-inch that they'll use, and then you'll pull that out tonight if the clouds go away. Hopefully they do. So the Bendigo section joined us a few years ago now. 3 years ago they became part of the ASV, and they use our site now. They're locals to the area. So we'll make our way a bit further up, and we have our club rooms up here. And I'm not sure if we can get the camera ramping around there. So we have the Lions Club. We also have a couple of local attending as well. And normally that is where the quiz would be, but we're not doing the quiz this year. So the Lions Club come every year and feed us, which is... Might make our way back down now, and we'll have a couple of the telescopes we've got. So up until about 2 years ago, roughly, maybe a little bit more, we used to just use a 25-inch telescope. So the 25-inch inside. And that was the baby of the ASV. It's little comes out usually every month at the Deep Sky section. Sits in the middle of the field about where the solar scope is at the moment. And we'll go around and we'll have a look at it. This is the 25-inch. Lives in a lovely shipping container. It'll be coming out tonight, once again, if the skies stay clear. So, I'm not sure if you can come in here and we'll have a look around at it. So this is a 25-inch telescope that we use. Been the pet of the ASV for quite a long time until recently, when we purchased a 40-inch, which we will now go and have a look at. And the 40-inch lives in our lovely big Roloff Observatory. So The Roloff Observatory was, I think, completed a few years back now. Can't roll the roof off for you yet, but when we do the raffle later on, we might actually do the raffle out here and roll the roof off for you guys as well, so you can see the telescope as it unfolds. We'll go in and we'll have a quick peek. So I think you might be able to see, if we pan around a little bit, you might be able to see the radio dish as well. So the dish is currently active. The guys down there are doing their handiwork. They've got it focused on a few bits and pieces and taking some data at the moment. So let's put the roller up just not too much. We don't want the sun directly on the 40-inch. So we'll sneak in here. Eh? We'll have a look. What have we got? So we've got another little. I think this isn't. You see, I'm trying to remember now. This will be an 18-inch. I'm pretty sure it is from memory. And then we have the 40-inch. Looks to me like was in use last night, which is good. Whoa. We're back. Sky Section Director had this out last night. So this is the 40-inch. The baby, the pet of the ASV. This thing, it's a beast of a telescope, and it. Okay? So it was cold last night. Take a walk around it, just see. Show you just the sheer size of it. So you can see how big. we might have lost you, and if we have, I do apologise. So we'll come back out. Yeah. Oh. Now, hopefully you saw that. I'm not sure if you did, but we'll soon find out when we have a look. Because I've got no idea whether you guys are seeing what we're seeing. We're just hoping that everything at the moment is working. So just behind me, we have the Astrophotography Field. And down there, we've got a couple of guys who've set up their equipment ready to go for tonight to do some viewing. We also have a dome. We might try and walk down there, see how we go. So we have our maximum of 50 people at the moment on the astrophotography field because of the restrictions that are currently in place. There's also a sign. Gavin has been at work with his sign making equipment. So everything up here is all COVID safe. We've got all our measures in place. COVID safe, locally sourced from Narby Mitre 10 up here. So if we pan around, we've got our dome, the first of our domes. We're hoping to add some more domes to that. We've got planning permission in at the moment for more domes to be added. We've also got planning permission in at the moment for an all abilities astronomy Roloff Observatory as well, which we're hoping we're weeks away from getting approval for, and it will come with wheelchair accessible or mobility accessible pathways throughout the site so that those coming up here with mobility issues can come and access the dark sky site as well. So we'll work our way now around to the dish. And yes, cricket has been played on the dish, and when we get around there, you will see there's actually a pair of stumps in the middle of the dish. Because it's not a dish unless you've played cricket on it. We'll just cut across here, right? Yeah, we'll go bush bashing. Now, we are also still hoping to bring you some live streams of the sun, as well as some radio astronomy. The radio astronomy may be later this evening. Deep sky at the moment, unfortunately, there's cloud around, so we may not be able to bring you the deep sky stuff. But just keep an eye on the page, and if we are able to bring you some deep sky, we will. As we come around, we'll get See if we can get one of the radio guys to come out and have a chat. They're like little hermits, those guys. They live in their own world down in the back corner of LMDSS. So we've got the dish here. Let's just pan up. So you can see the red thing in the middle. That's the stumps. So they are the stumps of our dish. Not as big as Park's radio dish, but big for us. Very impressive project for a non-profit organisation to have completed. Now, I can see someone that we can talk to. Phil. Steal you for Phil is probably one of the hardest workers up here, actually. So we thought we might get you to have a bit of a chat about the dish and what's been involved in it.
Sure. The dish, quite a project. And initially, Clint Jeffrey, the director, and Robert Harris. Dish, the actual aluminium part of the dish, and the chap decided, yes, you can have it for. Then it acquired this dish, which sat in our ground for
Quite a
period
few
of time.
years, yeah.
Yeah. And whilst it sat here, we an engineer, a mechanical engineer in the club.
Yep.
And he came to the radio astronomy section meetings, and together with him we talked about what we want to do and how to go about it. And he came up with the design of our pillar in the middle and the tilting mechanisms. So for the next few years after that, probably 6 or 7 years, because it's all voluntary work,
yep.
We got together. We got the base, which is that concrete platform at the bottom. That's actually 1.2 metres deep. We had
yes, I remember that.
We had to dig a hole, and then we had to set up the go in the middle, and then fill it with concrete. So it's one big slab of concrete, all designed to hold that in place. So the design is a lump of weight at the bottom of the dish to hold it there, a pillar, and then the mechanisms
in plate. Yep.
Yep.
So how big is the dish? And what are we hoping to be able to detect?
So the dish itself, we can use any type of antenna on it, but at the moment we have hydrogen. So hydrogen itself, when it gets bumped by energy, loses energy of its mass or whatever the thing, and some people describe it as the electron changing direction.
Yep.
Others say the energy drops. When that happens, one wave of energy emits from that hydrogen, and it's at that frequency.
And then we can detect that.
And there's trillions and trillions of atoms, so we detect that radio emissions from that, or the radiation, at this point, at our antenna.
There we go.
So yes, it's at the moment we're doing what we call the hydrogen line.
Just mucking about, testing it on a few things. What are we at?
We're at
do you know what you're pointing at the moment?
We're at the Large Magellanic Cloud.
Well, there you go. So currently pointed at the LMC, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And what are we trying to detect?
So we're still at the learning stage of or commissioning stage,
testing yep.
and all that sort of thing. So there's no real science going on. We're just getting signal, seeing how we get the signal and whether it's the right sort of things. Comparing it.
Now, what else have we got here? We've got a Jove radio, Jove receiver.
Jove receiver.
Yeah, sorry.
So the four, I don't know if you can see them.
So the four poles, the four green poles, you can see in the distance there.
Yep. So there's two antennae there, and they're both phased together or joined together, combined. One of the lines that goes from one antenna is a little bit longer than the other one, and that creates an antenna that points in the sky towards the north. where Jupiter goes across.
We can also detect the galactic center with that, can't we?
That's correct, yes. So as Sagittarius goes over the top, the hiss that we get from that radio, because that's all it's receiving is a little sort of sound, that noise level gets louder as the center of our galaxy goes over the top, and then it goes quieter again. And that noise we trend on a chart,
yep.
And we can get a bump that goes up and down every 23 points.
So we end up with a graph that
Yep.
we can plot.
And over the year it changes its time that it goes up and down. So, yeah.
So what else have we got here? I know we've got anything else?
So when it comes to the lightning detector, there's actually three. We've got what we call a whistler,
Yep.
which actually detects radio at audio frequency. The lightning strikes the ground, we hear a click.
Yep.
If the conditions are correct, that lightning energy will follow the magnetic field of the Earth and bounce off our conjugate, which is in just north of it's in Russia, just north of Japan. Yep. And if everything's good, it'll bounce off there. And as it's doing that, instead of getting a click from the lightning, we get a sort of sound. So that's our one lightning detector thing, or the whistler. Yeah. And then there's a lightning detector which purely detects the direction of where lightning's coming from and whether it's positively or negatively charged.
Yep.
And then there's another one which is in the Blitzortung network, where we detect a lightning strike and the computer sends data that we receive to Germany, and other receivers in the area do exactly the same thing, and it triangulates and draws a little pinpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're the three.
Anything else we've got up there? We've got the all-sky camera as well,
Yeah,
don't we?
full sky camera, which is a fisheye lens of the sky, which you see at day and night, and that tells our. The horn is. We're going to get that.
The sound.
Okay, so
We're trying. We've also dishes separate so than anything. So what exactly are we and how does it work?
the intention is to show people what the power of having a parabolic dish is all about. You can sit yourself at that dish and a second person sit at the other dish at the other end, and you can literally whisper to each other and you'll hear each other talk over that 30 metres distance.
It's pretty. I'll tell you what, it's just it's another reason to join the ASV, that's for sure. So we might leave that one here. We might head back up. I noticed there's some people up at the solar telescope. So let's go and maybe have a quick chat to Russell while we're doing this little tour. And thank you very much, Phil. We might come back and interview you again with better microphones next time. Maybe I might walk around with two. Hey? So apologies if the sound wasn't too crash hot then, but we are learning on the fly, and we are all volunteers really. So there are no paid people working for the ASV. We are essentially all people willing to give our time to promote astronomy. Now, talking about memberships, from tomorrow at around about 6 o'clock, we'll be kicking off a little bit of a membership drive, and anybody who purchases a membership between tomorrow, essentially from 6 p.m. until the 8th of January at midnight, goes into the draw to win an 8-inch Dobsonian telescope or a $500 Celestron voucher. So only those who purchase memberships in that period of time will be eligible for that. We still have tickets for our Celestron telescope available at the moment. So if you want to go to our Facebook page, you'll see the link in there for the Celestron telescope to buy tickets. There's still tickets available. It does cut off very soon because we'll be drawing that just after 6 o'clock tonight. Russell, We're live on Facebook at the moment and YouTube, yeah.
Hi.
So we thought we
Hello
might.
everyone on Facebook.
Hang on. We
Oh,
need to hold the mic up
All right.
because we're going to socially distance, but still.
right. Hello
So-
everyone on Facebook.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the telescope equipment you're using?
I'd love to, Mark. So, this is a state-of-the-art solar telescope. So everyone watching, please do not look at the sun with your naked eye or through binoculars or a telescope, unless it is has been properly modified or filtered for safe solar viewing. Otherwise, you run the risk of permanently damaging your eyesight. And that means if you see someone in the street looking at the sun, unless you're absolutely certain that the equipment is safe for looking at the sun, don't. Because eyesight is very valuable and you don't want to live the rest of your life with impaired eyesight. Anyway, so this is the Astronomical Society of Victoria's state-of-the-art solar telescope. And it's a very, very special solar telescope in that within the optics in here, it's rid of all that dazzling sunlight and allows a little thin sliver of red light through to the eye. But before that little thin sliver of red light is allowed through to the eye, we've got to get rid of the heat. So within this area here is what is known as an IR block filter. IR meaning infrared equals heat. So that completely blocks out the infrared, that blocks out all the dazzling light apart from red light. So what you see in the eyepiece is a beautiful radiantly red disk of the sun with prominences coming off the edge, active regions, filaments and structure on the layer of the sun that we are observing, which is called the chromosphere. So there we have it, a beautiful state-of-the-art telescope to provide never to be forgotten views of our star 150 million kilometres away. There we are. Any questions?
No, we won't know. We won't know if there's any questions because we can't see. So, but before we do go, remember there are still raffle tickets available for the Celestron go-to tonight. So if you haven't bought any, jump onto the Facebook page. You'll see the link on there and grab your tickets before we close that one down to draw. And we will come back. Hopefully, we're going to try and do a live stream through this equipment. So Russell will be back shortly. And we will, if we're not able to do that, we will see you for the raffle and hopefully the unveiling of the 40-inch. And I'm told that the viewing of the 40-inch, the tour we just did, worked, which is always good news. So to the man in the van, whose legs I can see, if you'd like to end our live stream now, that would be wonderful. He's our producer, yes. Blake the producer. He's not just an astronomer. He's a man of many talents. He is developing wonderfully well. Yes, he is. So I'm hoping we're off. Just